Are you a student with an IEP? Then you've come to the right place. When you walk inside your IEP meeting, there's a ton of other people there, and they're all talking about you. But what is going on here, and why is it so important that you're participating in the meeting? Take a deep breath. I'm going to walk you through it. That's why inside this video, I'm taking you behind the scenes of your IEP meeting to describe what it looks like. I'm going to show you how to make it better, how to get the right accommodations or modifications for your needs, and most importantly, tons of tools and resources so you can make your next IEP meeting so much better. Hey, what's up? I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate to make IEPs and 504 plans so much easier. If you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button to get more videos like this in your inbox, and check us out on Instagram at RiseEdAdvocacy. Here's what you need to know about IEP meetings. Individual education plans, sometimes known as programs, are regulated under something called IDA law. Here's the problem. Most of the time, teachers and parents are not going to sit you down and say, okay, here's what an IEP looks like. Here's why it's so important that you come into the meeting, and here's how you can advocate, meaning here's what you can say at the meeting to get the best help for your meetings. That's exactly why I'm so happy that you're watching this video, because let me tell you something, pro tip, IEPs are a service and you and your family are the consumer. What does this mean? This means that the IEP needs to work for you, and that IEPs are going to be an instructional roadmap that your school must follow. What am I saying? I'm saying that when it comes to what is an IEP is supposed to be a roadmap or a blueprint describing what your team is going to do, how they're going to do it, and lay out all the supports and services that are going to help you get what you need, make the most out of your educational benefit, meaning you are benefiting from having an IEP. Case in point, why are you at an IEP meeting? Well, here's the deal, pro tip. Based on your state, you're actually required to be invited to attend your IEP at a certain age. But here's something that schools do not tell you, pro tip, is that there's nothing in IDA law that prevents you from wanting to come to an IEP meeting. What am I saying? I'm saying that you and your family have a choice, and that if you would like to participate in the IEP meeting and you're like, you know what, I really want to go, or I have some questions, or I want to have a concern, or your family is like, we're not really sure, that is up to you and your family. Meaning, if you want to participate, it is a game changer. And if you are feeling overwhelmed, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so difficult, you always have a choice. Here's something that your school may not tell you, pro tip, is that your IEP must be updated or changed, and it must reflect your needs. So if you need more support or less support, your IEP team is required to convene, or you and your parents can say, you know what, we would like to have an IEP because what's happening right now is really not working. That's exactly why I want you to check out my first video that lays out what is an IEP, and specifically lays it out when it comes to the 5-part definition, so you know exactly what your educational plan is supposed to do and what it's designed to do and how it's supposed to help you. Make sure to grab it in the link in the description box below. So let me ask you something. What has your experience been at the IEP table? Do you feel like you can meaningfully participate? Do you like going to the meetings? Do you not? Put in the comments below, because let's get the conversation going so that you can get the best help and feel so much better for your next meeting. So now you know what is an IEP. Let's dive into why you're watching this video. Specifically, why should you go to your IEP meeting? Well, here's the truth, pro tip. When I worked as a school psychologist for years in a high school, kids that would come to their IEP meeting made all the difference. What am I talking about? When you go to your IEP meeting, your teachers, your team members, whoever is working with you is not just talking about you. You are sitting in the room, so they have to talk to you. This completely changes everybody else's opinion and gives you the opportunity to say, you know what? This works for me. I like this. I don't like this. This would really help me. Yeah, the meetings are difficult. However, you have the platform. So instead of people just talking about you, you can say, actually, this is what's really happening. This would really support me. You have the opportunity to step it up and be able to say what you need and what supports and services work for you. So what am I saying? I'm saying instead of having a meeting where you're like, what happened? And then later you find out you go here, you go there, you're like, I don't like this. When you walk into the IEP meeting, you are part of the team. And pro tip, under IDA law, when you turn 18 years old, you are considered a legal adult, meaning you are able to sign on your IEP. So unless your parents have conservatorship or have some other type of guardianship, that means you are completely in charge of your IEP and you want to know how to read it. So when you start participating in the meetings and you walk in, even if it's not crazy amazing, but you get a chance to stand up there and say, you know what, this would really help me or this doesn't, it makes all the difference. So let me ask you something. Do you know what to bring to a meeting? How can you prepare? That's exactly why I want you to check out my first free guide, a meeting day checklist that lays out 5 things that make a huge difference for you and your family to bring to the meeting. Because nothing is worse when you walk into an IEP meeting where they're like, what do you want to say? And you're like, I don't know. It gives you all the tools that you and your family need so you can feel so much better before you walk into your next meeting. Grab that link in the description box below. So now you know what is an IEP and why it makes all the difference when you go to the meeting. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. What to do if your IEP is not working. What am I saying? How do you fix your IEP? So here's the problem, pro tip, is that everybody else inside the meeting, except for your parents and you, has had IEP training, meaning there's all this paperwork going around and they know exactly how to do it and you don't get the playbook. That's why we need to make things better and exactly why I want you to check out my 5-part series that lays out how to fix your IEP. What am I saying? I'm saying that you need the playbook and you deserve to know all the rules so that you know what to ask for and how to get it. Check out the playlist so that you know exactly how to ask for things, what to say, and how to make your plan better. Grab that link in the description box below. I want you to think about your last IEP meeting if you've been to one before. Specifically when the team's like, okay, what are you gonna say? Meaning, what do you wanna talk about? And you're like, I don't know. We need to change that. Why? Pro tip, because what you say can be written directly onto the IEP. When you say, hey, this really helps me, this doesn't, these are the tools or the services or the goals that I need. That's why I was talking about earlier, stepping it up so that when you participate, you can make the most out of going to these IEP meetings. And that's exactly why I created something called the IEP and the 504 meeting toolkit. Now, what is inside my digital guide? I created this digital guide for families, for students, for anybody participating in the meeting that lay out tons of different supports and services when it comes to the type of accommodations you might need when you're undergoing testing to be able to read all those darn reports, understanding all those acronyms when it comes to FAPE, LRE, and all those different words. Everybody else at the meeting has paperwork except for you, and we're gonna change that right now. Grab that link in the description box below. So let's dive into your last IEP. If you have the paperwork, awesome, go ahead and bring it out. If not, I want you to think about this. When you look at your IEP meeting, the first page is going to have the information. Then it's going to be the present levels of academic achievement and functional performance, also known as PLOF. After this, there's going to be something that's going to talk about the accommodations, modifications, or what's called specially designed instruction, or SDIs. That's what I want to talk to you about right now. Why? Because what is written in there when you participate as a teen or as a high school student can make or break your instruction. What am I saying? I'm saying that if your teacher is talking about giving you extended time, if they're talking about giving you double time, if they're talking about breaking down assignments, having shorter assignments or having less work, or adjusting the presentation, response, timing, scheduling, all of those things, that has to do with something called accommodations. What am I saying? I'm saying that accommodations adjust how the instruction is delivered to you based on your strengths. Now, there's something else that you need to know, and it's called a modification. A modification is going to adjust what your teacher gives to you. What would this look like? Pro tip, a modification could be changing the test format. It could be, instead of, if you're in 9th grade, it could be giving you 7th grade reading instead of 9th grade. It's basically taking the curriculum and adjusting the format of either the test or the assignment based on your need. Here's something else that your school may not tell you. Pro tip is that if you are in high school and you have a modification on your IEP, this can really change things when it comes to adjusting your courses, getting a high school diploma, perhaps getting college prep classes. And you need to know what your team is saying so that you can feel comfortable with the plan and you can feel like it works for you. That's exactly why I want you to check out my next free guide, Accommodations versus Modifications. Because I'm telling you, pro tip, so many times when I sat inside high school IEPs, the parents were like, no, I want extra time. No, we want this. And the student would say, yeah, I want that. And they say, oh, no, we can't do it. It's a modification. You need to know your rights, and I want to give you all the tools with my side-by-side guide so you can get the accommodations or the modifications that work for your needs. Grab that link in the description box below. So now you know what is an IEP, why it matters, how to fix it, and the difference between accommodations and modifications. Let's talk about myths and truths for your IEP after high school. What am I talking about? I'm talking about that there are so many myths out there. Case in point, when I worked as a school psych at a high school, so many times parents and kids were like, okay, does the IEP follow to college? What do I do? Does it go on my transcript? Is it a bad idea if I tell the university that I have an IEP? Here's what you need to know. The deal is that your IEP does not follow you to college, meaning your IEP is going to work for you either when you graduate from high school and get a high school diploma, or if you're in a transition program, it follows you until you complete the transition program with your IEP. What does this mean? This means if you apply to a junior college, if you apply to a university, even a specialty program based on what your needs are, the IEP isn't just going to go there. And that's exactly why I want you to check out my video talking about, can you take your IEP to college? Because there's so many rules and regulations that change. And the truth of the matter is, pro tip, you can get disability supports in college, and you'll want to set this up before you set foot on the college campus because it makes a huge difference. Grab that link in the description box below. So thinking about post-high school, once you have your IEP and you're done, how do you want to transition your IEP? So like I said earlier, the IEP actually doesn't go to college. However, if you go to a junior college or you go to a university, you want to access those accommodations, or if you have specialty services and supports, you want to get everything in place. That's exactly why, just for you and your family, I created something called the College Guide. Inside my college guide, it lays out the difference between high school and college disability supports, how you can apply and get access to all of those accommodations, what it looks like to apply, and the 5 steps to get there. It lays it out to make your journey easier, because I'm telling you, when you go to college, if you don't have those accommodations in place, you're gonna start out and you're like, why didn't I get all set up? And I wanna make your journey so much easier, so when you sit in those high school IEPs, you know exactly what's gonna happen after graduation. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. So now you have a ton of tools and resources to make your next IEP meeting so much better. Do you have a question about your IEPs? Put it in the link in the description box below. You want me to do more videos? Put it there too. Make sure to grab all of my links and tools to make your IEP journey so much easier. Like and subscribe to get more videos like this in your inbox, and make sure to check us out on Instagram at Advocacy. I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate. I can't wait to see you for our next video.